But then, maybe Dr. Carroll was right. She and Charlie had been fodder enough for the press these last few years. She drained what remained in her highball and glanced at the framed posters hung about the great room. Every one of her husband's motion pictures was displayed, from his very first to his latest flop. Tell them to expect a Mrs. Pauline Marvin. The dilapidated county hospital on Mission Street bustled like a hash house on a Sunday morning. Nurses and orderlies in starched white uniforms scudded from bed to bed in the vast ward beyond the admitting desk. Pauline Marvin, she said to the nurse at the desk. I'm here to see some doctor or another. Sullivan, maybe? He's expecting me. The woman didn't look up, but waved a hand toward the crowded waiting area. Have a seat. Mirielle clutched the lapels of her fur-trimmed coat, skirting the coughing, groaning masses. Children squirmed on their mothers' laps. Farmers picked at the dirt beneath their nails. Off-duty waitresses and shop clerks and telephone operators hunched over scandal magazines. Cinema star denies plastic operation, one of the headlines read. 3 men dance Charleston 22 hours straight. She stood against the far wall and glanced at the clock. 10:35. She'd wait until 10:40 and not a minute longer. Already she'd wasted too much time on this silly errand. Another nurse soon arrived at the admitting desk. She whispered something to the first, who looked up in alarm and pointed at Mirielle. Mrs. Marvin, the second nurse called. She wore the same uneasy expression Dr. Carroll had donned after examining her hand. Follow me, please. The nurse escorted Mirielle down a long hallway to the back of the building, up 3 flights of stairs, and into a small room with a single bed. Wait here. She filled a washbowl with liquid and placed it on a rickety metal table outside the door. The sharp smell stung Mirielle's nose from clear across the room. What the devil is that? Disinfectant. Dr. Sullivan arrived shortly after and examined her hand, glancing but a moment at the burn before focusing on the back of her thumb. How long have you had this lesion? He asked. Lesion? Mirielle flinched at the ugliness of the word. It wasn't a lesion at all, only a lightened blotch of skin. More questions followed. Had it appeared gradually or suddenly? Had she noticed other lesions on her body? He bade her undress and prowled around her. She was used to men looking at her, but not unclothed and not in this way. Lips flat and eyes narrowed, as if she were a vexing word puzzle in the Saturday Evening Post. Raise your right arm, raise your left, sit down, hold out your feet. She complied until he hollered to the nurse for a scalpel and specimen slides. Hold it right there! She reached for her stockings and chemise. Just what do you mean to do? Don't dress. You've got other lesions too. 1 on your back, 2 on the medial aspect of your thigh, 1 on your, derriere. I need samples to examine under the microscope. She craned her neck to see the offending spots. Are you sure it isn't just poor circulation? Stand still, he said by way of answer. He scraped the edge of the scalpel over a small, irregularly shaped area of pale skin on her thigh. Mirielle felt nothing. No pain or discomfort. Not even a tickling sensation. Had she not been watching, she wouldn't have known the blade was on her at all. He smeared the flecks of skin and tissue onto a glass slide, then moved to the next spot. Is it cancer? I'd rather not speculate, but you'll have to remain here until we have a definitive diagnosis. At the hospital? Yes, here in the isolation ward. That's impossible. I've got children, a 10-month-old who's teething. He passed the slides off to the nurse, then rolled up his shirt sleeves and scrubbed his hands and forearms in the basin of disinfectant by the door. Better for them that you remain here. Then he shut the door.